Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Cloud the Pagan Rapper here, and you're listening to Iowa Pagan News Radio.
Welcome to Iowa Pagan News, your informative internet radio station catering to all pagans worldwide. We are dedicated to bringing you the very best in music, news, events, and lots of fun stuff. Come tune into our new podcast at www.plrdn.podbean.com. Now, here is your host, Lou Silverwolf Williams.
Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Pagan Artist Spotlight on the National Pagan Network. And this evening, I am joined by my special guest, Sydney Michael, who is a musician and singer-songwriter. Now, she has been one of the singers for Crossroad Convergence, but she kind of came out of hiatus to make a track for the new Red album that came out, and it sounds good, and we're going to be playing that here tonight along with one of her other tracks as well. So I want to say welcome, and thank you for taking time out to come join me.
Thank you to have me. I'm happy to be here.
All right, so let's just get started here. So how long have you been involved with music and singing and writing?
Well, I've been singing pretty much since I was born. So my mother used to tell stories of how I would sing myself to sleep in my crib at night. So I've always been a singer. There hasn't been a time that I wasn't a singer. I started writing songs right about 8th, 9th grade, somewhere in there, when I started getting exposed to poetry and literature and all that fun stuff. And I thought, hey, I could write this stuff. And it actually started out more like journaling. I would just write what was in my heart, and it would sort itself into lyrics.
Gotcha. So now, what got you on? Well, okay. When you were growing up, were you following any kind of spiritual path at that time, or?
I was raised very open-minded. Let's put it that way. My parents did not. Obviously, my parents were both raised. My dad was raised Catholic. My mom was raised Presbyterian. But they didn't push their beliefs down my throat. They really wanted me to be able to think for myself. And they sent me to private Lutheran school as a kid because it was a better education than the public school district. So I always grew up questioning everything. I was taught to question everything from the get-go. I don't remember a time that I wasn't asking questions of, okay, this doesn't make any sense. What am I doing sitting here in a church? No. And I always found more peace and solace and, frankly, divine presence out in my backyard with the wildflowers and my dog.
Okay. Well, and I think all of us at one time or another have really had to question what fit with us. And because basically I'm the same way. Is I tried the non-denominational route and like, nope, this isn't working.
Yep. And every one of us reaches the point where we start wanting to, we start seeking.
Yep.
And we want to know what's going on. Where is this coming from? What actually feels right for me? And it took me a long time, but I knew I first got exposed to, for lack of a better term, alternative spiritualities when I was 17. I mean, I'd learned about other religions in history class in high school, but I had never been exposed to alternative paths like something I could follow until I got out of high school and got out of my parents' house and met some people. And I was always drawn to the earth-based paths. I was drawn to Native American. I was drawn to, the Wiccan path and several others, anything that was tied to nature drew me in. And when I started thinking about it, my head went back to even in middle school when they were teaching us in school about the Greek myths, about the Greek gods. And I'm thinking to myself, this is starting to click. This is starting to click. This is starting to make sense of these are practices that go back before everything I've been taught.
Right.
And so I started digging deeper, and I explored the Greek a little bit. It didn't really talk to me. And I looked at the Strega path. I looked at the Etruscan paths, and they spoke to me more, but it still wasn't quite it. And then it was, and this all took place over the course of years and years and years, seeking this and seeking that. And finally, somewhere in about 2011, 2012-ish, 2011, I think, I was at a metaphysical fair acting as dragon for an event that was happening. And all of a sudden, it just hit me. And I had always loved Egyptian history. I'd always loved Egyptian mythology. I remember as a little kid, I was so fascinated by Egyptian stuff that one of my dad's friends came to visit and brought me back a cartouche from Egypt, and I was all about it. And that was, oh, hi. Hello, Aset.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically came down and said, you belong to me.
That's usually the way it happens.
Mm-hmm. And that was that was the end of it. And funny thing, she never really led me to formal Kemetic per se. Okay. But she led me to deepen my resonance with those ancient myths and with those deities, more like, and this gets into, I've had some experiences that have shown me that I interact with the gods and goddesses from the various pantheons. End of the day, I'm an eclectic witch. That's the beginning and the end of it. But I interact with various deities more like they are those who have evolved beyond us, those who were once as we are and have evolved to the next plane, rather than, divine from on high and, thou shalt bow down and fear them. Don't get me wrong. They can mess shit up what they want to.
Yeah, that's true. And
but they're much closer to us.
Mm-hmm.
Than the, omnipotent, omniscient, all-seeing, all-knowing, all-being divine that so many of us were raised with.
Yeah, is everybody who I have spoken with, who have talked about the deities who they follow, and usually it comes down to a deity doing anything from giving subtle hints to basically a slap to the back of the head, say, "Hey, pay attention."
Mm-hmm.
But
some people pick up the subtle hints. Some people need the Louisville Slugger to the head. Hi.
Yeah. And you're the first person I've actually heard, saying that yours came to you, said you belong to me now. It's like, interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know
That's exactly how I felt in the moment. Was, oh, okay, yes, ma'am.
because I know that when it comes to the old Egyptian gods and goddesses, that they don't play around.
No, they do not.
So I definitely understand where they come from. Yeah, because yeah, there's certain ones that I've learned my lesson with that you don't just go asking willy nilly about stuff because if you don't have intention behind it, eh,
Yep.
you're not going to get good results.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, when you get down to it, at the end of the day, that's true of anything. That's true of any of this work, regardless of what deities you're working with.
Right.
The universe only knows how to say yes. And it'll say yes to your fears and your doubts the same way it says yes to your intention. Mm-hmm. So you've got to have your head on straight.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, has she been influential for your musical path?
You know, she really has, because that was about the time when she first came down. That was about the time that I started returning to my music, in terms of within a couple of years, I had written and recorded my first EP. And I never published it back then because I didn't know what Bandcamp was. I didn't know any of this stuff. I don't even know that it existed back then. But I didn't know of any way to publish it and put it out there. And I didn't know about copywriting. I didn't know nothing. I just knew I had this music and I wanted to record it. And so I did. And it kind of died. Those songs still exist. I still have them. I revived one of them for the band's album, for the Crossroad Convergence album, Penumbra. The song is Stairway. And that actually came from that first EP. And we reworked it with the band, and I love the way it sounds. But yeah, she really, I mean, far be it for me to question a goddess of music coming down and claiming me. So, but yeah, it's been a long and winding road. Life gets in the way. There were, bills to pay and jobs to keep, and there were debts out the wazoo and divorces and whatnot. And, my life got turned upside down more times than I can count in the last 12 years. And so when the Red album was birthed, and it's actually kind of funny because I was the one that first said out loud, we need a Red album. But when that came around, my first thought was, I have to do this, and I have to do this solo. I wasn't sure why. Some of it probably comes from the fact that I never shy away from a fight. I don't start them, but I have no problem finishing them. But I also don't expect anyone to step up and take the heat with me.
Right.
If I'm going to take a risk like that, I'm not going to ask anyone to follow me. I'm going to take whatever punches come and make sure that everyone I love is protected.
Right.
So,
well, as you can see, just by you bringing up the notion that you've got 18 other artists that came on board with you.
That is to this day, it probably always will be the most consequential time I have ever opened my mouth. I mean, if I had known when I opened my mouth where I would be a year from then, I think my head might have exploded. But I am so proud of everything we have accomplished with this album. And I could not be more grateful or more honored to be among these artists. I mean, these artists are not just brilliant musicians, each and every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But they are the most genuinely good, loving, passionate people I have known. And I mean, they could have just said, hey, we don't know who you are. We're going to run with this. Bye. But by some miracle, they let me into the Cool Kids Club.
Well, you know, with the artists that you were working with, I know a lot of them personally, and they would have accepted you into the tribe no matter what.
I've learned that over the last year, and I am exceptionally grateful for it. I am so happy to call some of these people my friends now.
Yep. Yeah, 'cause I've known several of them for years, and yeah, I've followed them through everything that they've gone through, the changes that they've gone through, and the music that they've come up with has just been utterly fantastic. And I always make sure that I know that when they have something new coming out that I have to listen to. And that's basically everybody who I've spoken with over the years doing this. They've all said that when they have a chance to gather together at a festival or something, or whatever's going on, that they are family.
Yep.
And that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and play your track off of the Red album, and this is called "My Body Is Mine." And you know, and when it goes back to what you were saying about when your deity came down to you, he said, "You belong to me now." It's like, okay, so I think I know where this stems from.
Yeah. When I wrote this, my thought was, somebody needs to not be subtle about this.
Mm-hmm.
So I got out the Louisville Slugger, and the lyrics flowed, and out it came.
Excellent. All right, this is called "My Body Is Mine."
They think we'll just lay down and take it, like we've done so many times before, that we'll just close our eyes and fake it, let our fears disappear us into broken, obedient hearts. I don't know about you, but I've been there and I'm through kissing ass, holding back my sass while they take everything from me. I'm gonna be loud and proud. I'm gonna stand up and take up space. If you don't like it, get out of my face. My body is mine, all mine. Don't get it twisted, it ain't your place. If you don't like it, get out of my space. I don't answer to you. My body is mine. They want to turn back time, make our world match the fantasy in their minds. Donna Reed, hand-pressed tweet, picket fences and false pretenses, while their jackboots on our necks choke out our last breath. I don't know about you, but I've been there and I'm through kissing ass, holding back my sass while they take everything from me. I'm gonna be loud and proud. I'm gonna stand up and take up space. If you don't like it, get mine, all mine. Don't get it twisted, it ain't your place. If you don't like it, get out of my space. I don't answer to you. My body is mine. I am woman, hear me roar. Go ahead and try to take me down while I kick down all these doors. I am woman, hear me roar. Go ahead and try to take me down. I'll leave you broken on the floor. I'm gonna be loud and proud. I'm gonna stand up and take up space. If you don't like it, get out of my face. My body is mine, all mine. Don't get it twisted, it ain't your place. If you don't like it, get out of my space. I don't answer to you. My body is mine.
I gotta tell you, you held nothing back from that.
That was the idea.
That is a very excellent and very powerful song.
Thank you. Yeah, I decided if there were ever a time to leave it all on the floor, to leave it all in the ring, this was the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I knew when the first announcement came out about the Red Album that I knew that it was going to be something really special.
Yeah.
And then when I got asked to talk with each individual member who contributed to this album, there was no hesitation about that whatsoever.
Well, we appreciate you. So.
Okay, now we've got another track that I was going to play here, and this one is also because you posted this up this year as well. This one's called Little Miss Sydney.
Actually, I don't think that one's mine.
Uh-oh. Okay, never mind. We'll take never mind. We'll take that one down. Okay, I must have been looking at something else. So, let's talk a little bit about the band that you're in, and Convergence Crossroads.
So, the Crossroad Convergence is we're a fun little band of pirates over here. We actually started out, I don't know how many people remember Elven Drums from probably 30 years ago now. Ouch. I don't want to think about that. But Avatar was the ringleader of Elven Drums. And the Crossroad Convergence actually started out as Avatar's basement hobby band, Petey Bogwater.
Gotcha.
And, we were having a good old time jamming in Av's basement, and we looked at each other and said, hey, we want to play out. So we got a few gigs and we played out a bit and we wrote some songs, and just when things were starting to ramp up, Avatar ran into some health issues and had to step back.
Oh,
and
okay.
So, fortunately he has recovered and he's doing well. So we're very grateful for that. But in the meantime, we had to take the band out on our own. And so we came up with a new name, the Crossroad Convergence, because each of us is so very different. All four of us, we're so very different from each other, musically and otherwise, but we all love the music, and we all we're all pagans. We're all passionate musicians. At least two. I mean, Nikki and I are both LGBT, so it's, you know, very different people coming together to share a common bond and a common purpose, and it works exceptionally well. I mean, if you go to the crossroadconvergence.bandcamp.com, you can get the tracks of the album, and you can just see it. Each artist has their own style. You can tell none of the songs sound exactly the same, and the songs that were written by me sound somewhat different than the songs that were written by Joe or the songs that were written by Nikki, but they all come together. And
and that's usually the way it works with band members. Somebody's going to write something different than somebody else is going to, but once you put it all together, then it all does wind up merging, coming together, and has its own unique sound.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you go, if you go pull up that Bandcamp, there's one of the lead tracks on there is one that I wrote that also pulls no punches. It's called Stormrider. And it,
yep.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
So feel free to play that one if you want.
Yep, we will definitely be playing that one. And yeah, you said that one's Stairway, correct?
Either Stairway or Stormrider, either one. Stairway is an unusual twist on a love song.
Aha.
And I'm rather fond of it. That's the one that came off of my 2012 EP.
Okay. So, yeah, because I was looking at both of these, both Stormrider and Stairway, because for some odd reason, those two get pointed out to me. And now I know why.
Yeah. Stormrider is it's both a mystical journey and a rallying cry for justice.
Excellent. Well, tell you what, now we're just going to go ahead and take a listen to Stormrider, and then we should have some time left over. And this is right after Stormrider. We're going to take a quick station break for ID and a couple of things, and then we'll get right back into it. And then we should also have time to play Stairway too.
Cool.
All right, so we will get to that.
Flashes of lightning against the night sky, rumbles of thunder on the quakening wind. The storm comes, the land trembles in the dark. Exposed and defenseless, she waits for the spark. I feel the turning of the wheel, the turning of the world, as the veil grows thin and the night grows cold. Sheets of rain falling outside my window, echoes of memories lost in the flood. Deep in the dark, where shadows are undone, where the soul is swept clean, ere the new day comes. I feel the turning of the wheel, the turning of the world, as the veil grows thin and the night grows cold. priests and Pharisees high in their castles, hoarding the treasure they stole from the land. The time has come for justice to be done. Let the storm clouds rise, their reckoning has come. I feel the turning of the wheel, the turning of the world, as the veil grows thin and the night grows cold. I am the storm rider, with the wind at my back. I call forth the raging thunder, and let loose the bolts of fire that will bring the false towers down. I am the storm rider, with the wind at my back. I call for the raging thunder, and let loose the bolts of fire that will bring the false towers down. I am the storm rider, and I will bring the false towers down. I am the storm rider.
I like that one. I really do.
Thank you.
That is it. That's also a good song. And I have a feeling that now, how often does the band go out? I mean, is it all just local gigs, or have you been on tour? Or?
So far, we've just been doing local gigs, but I mean, we're open to the possibility of touring. So I don't know what the next year or so has in store for us. I'm hoping a lot more in terms of getting out there in front of audiences and being able to play, because that's what we love.
Well, I gotta admit, I like the sound, because anytime that I come across a band that has a unique sound like what you folks do, that's what really gets my interest. So
Well,
you've done well with it. Okay, we're going to take a quick time out for a station break, and also hear from one of our promoters, and we'll be right back right after this.
Sister Moon, Apothecary and More is a collaboration of local island witches bringing you handcrafted tools for ritual, amazing apothecary, custom vinyl work, merchandise, and so much more. But we are not just an online store. We are a sisterhood, a platform, and a voice for everything that is magical. Join us for our famous Tarot Tuesdays from 11 to 4 Eastern Standard Time for a discounted reading with our amazing in-house intuitive reader and priestess, Wolf Spirit Energy, Beverly Oberlin. You can find us on Facebook at Sister Moon Store or on the web at sistermoon.shop. So fly on over and stop in for a spell.
You are listening to Pagan Artist Spotlight on the Prairie Land Radio Network and the Podbean Podcast Network.
All right, we are back with Sydney Michael, and getting to know her and her music. And, you know, I know that you said that you came out of hiatus to do the track for the Red album. And So basically, it's been how well. You said that you first put out that one album, what, 2013?
Yeah, 2013 sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. So have you done any other albums since then, or has it just been with the band?
It's just been with the band. Funny, it was actually in the middle of COVID that I ended up joining the band. I had stepped away from music because life had gotten in the way big time.
Mhm.
And so I had to rebuild my life. And I had just gotten engaged in 2019, and then COVID hit. And we had to postpone the wedding. And I was crashing hard. I was in a really bad place. And I tried to just put together a birthday party for my fiance. And I was going to book Petey Bogwater because my fiance at the time loved Elma drums. He was an old school fan of Elvin drums. So I figured, well, this is the band that, Avatar's put together. So
Right.
why not? And as we were trying, first of all, COVID forced us to cancel. And then their lead singer quit. And Nikki comes to me and says, "Hey, our lead singer just quit." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And it was like a week or two later that I was in Av's basement auditioning. And I remember the guy who was playing keyboards at the time looks at me and says, "I hope you don't mind. You're stuck with us." I was like, "Nope, I don't mind." And the rest kind of just fell together.
Well, okay. So basically, here again, I have a feeling that was your your
Yes,
guy.
it was. No doubt. She's not subtle about it.
No, she's not. Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of why we get along, because I don't do subtle either.
there's nothing wrong with that at all. Because, I mean, there are times that you just have to do what you got to do. And if you want done things right,
Yep.
you got to take matters in your own hands. So,
And there are times when you need to just not sugarcoat things.
mm-hmm.
I'm not Willy Wonka.
Cool. All right. We're going to be playing the next track here, which basically is called Stairway. And now you said this has got a love theme attached to it.
Yeah, this is it's got a little bit of a magical twist on a love song of someone who, it's written from the perspective of a girl who's watching someone from afar and watching them suffer and seeing how sad and heartbroken and lonely they are, and wishing she had a way to sweep into his life and make him happy.
Okay. Well, this one's going to be, this one is called Stairway.
I want to dance through the forgotten ballrooms of your soul. Set ablaze the candelabras that once lit your joy. Let my songs ring through the rafters of your long neglected dreams, and banish all the cobwebs from the stairway to your heart. How long has it been since you danced in the fire? How many years have passed since you dared to dream of love? Tell me how long it's been since you felt your heart's desire. How long since you've known the flame that fits you like a glove? Come, let me dance through the forgotten ballrooms of your soul. Set ablaze the roaring fires of your deepest joy. Let my voice ring through the rafters of your long neglected dreams, and banish all the cobwebs from the stairway to your heart. There's no heartache in this world that should keep you bound in darkness. There's no fear in your mind that should ever own your soul. You are divine, a shining star. Your heart, your soul, your life is boundless. Stand your ground, face your fears, behold your spirit pure and whole. Come, let me dance through the forgotten ballrooms of your soul. Set ablaze the roaring fires of your deepest joy. Let my voice ring through the rafters of your long neglected dreams, and banish all the cobwebs from the stairway to your heart. Come, let me dance through the forgotten ballrooms of your soul. Set ablaze the roaring fires of your deepest joy. Let my voice ring through the rafters of your long neglected dreams, and banish all the cobwebs from the stairway to your heart. The stairway to your heart. Let me climb the stairway to your heart. The stairway to your heart.
Another beautiful song.
Thank you very much.
Well, you know, the band made the right decision when they elected to keep you.
Well, I hope they think so, because I think so.
So now, basically, if it ever comes down to it, I mean, have you has the group thought about doing, going around to any of the festivals? And
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I joined the IPMA last year as a solo artist just to kind of check it out. And we are seriously discussing joining the IPMA as a band this year.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, and we would love to go out and do, festivals here and there. I know three of the four of us still have day jobs, so there's obviously juggling schedules and whatnot. But yeah, we would absolutely love to.
Okay. So let's see. What was the okay, mind blank. Shoot, I hate when that happens. Okay, so okay, lost complete train of thought there. Sorry about that. What I would like to be able to do is to have the band come on the show as well. is I would love to be able to feature the band completely.
Absolutely, we would love to.
Excellent. So now I know that being a part of this Red album has meant a lot to you. And I'm really hoping that it's really going to help get you noticed, the band noticed, and I wish you all the best with it. That song is very powerful, and I know that it's going to inspire a lot of people.
Well, I hope it does, because that's what it's intended for. It is meant to be. My Body Is Mine is meant to be the kind of song that is sung by thousands of people as they are marching through the streets.
Mm-hmm.
It is meant to be a participation song.
Yeah, that I completely agree with you on. 100%.
And the greatest honor this world could do me is to see that happen in the real world.
Well, I am so glad that we've had this time to spend together, and I get to listen to your music, and which is absolutely fantastic. I will definitely be wanting to keep in touch, and definitely want to have the band back and have you all together to be on the show.
Absolutely, I look forward to it.
Excellent. All right. So now, what's the best way that people can get in touch with you?
The crossroadconvergence.com has all the links for the band. It has our Facebook and everything. The best way to talk to us is on Facebook. That's where we do most of our communicating, mainly because it's the platform that I'm most familiar with. But we're also on Instagram. We don't do Twitter because Twitter sucks. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But we're on Facebook and Instagram. We're on YouTube. We are on TikTok. We don't do much on TikTok, but we're on TikTok. So yeah, you can find us in all the places that you want to find us. And if there's a place we don't know about that you want to find us, let me know, and I will find a way to get us on there. We're on all the streaming platforms if you want our music. Obviously, Bandcamp makes us the most money, so please go find our Bandcamp. But, when you need a fix, we're on Spotify and Apple Music too. So.
Okay, excellent. There is also a new app that's being run by Instagram, which is called Threads.
I've heard of that. I have not yet taken the plunge for that.
Yeah, neither have I yet. I'm still investigating. So.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like, I don't know.
I've been learning about it in networking groups, and it's like, well, I will investigate, and we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm. Same.
No, same problems.
Very much same.
All right. So we've been listening to not only a great song by Sydney Michael, but also the band Crossroad Convergence. Be sure to check them out at the link, plus also Bandcamp. You can find our music there. You can find Sydney's track on Bandcamp as well. And naturally, I went ahead and bought it and downloaded it myself, so that way I've got it.
And everybody can go to redalbum.org and go get the Red Album. Go to theredalbum.bandcamp.com and get the Red Album, because the wonderful thing about the Red Album is we all came together not just to make music that would inspire people to make a difference, but to actually make a difference. Every dime that is spent on the Red Album goes to the National Abortion Federation and Elevated Access. These are two amazing organizations, and we are thrilled to be supporting them. So by all means, go buy the Red Album, go buy the Red Album, go buy the Red Album.
Exactly. Go buy the Red Album. You'll definitely be supporting a great cause in the meantime. All right. So appreciate everyone who tunes in on a regular basis to Pagan Artist Spotlight. I know that I had made an announcement that things are going to be coming to a close. I've got one more interview to do this week, we're going to see how things go, and we're just going to take things one day at a time here and see what happens. But if you want to reach out to me directly, you can still go to the business page for Pagan Artist Spotlight on Facebook. You can also get in touch with me through the group, also National Pagan Network. You can also email me directly at iowapagannews@gmail.com. So in the meantime, I'm going to say pleasant journeys, everyone. Have a great night. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. Pleasant journeys, everyone. And I will be seeing you again, let's see, later this week for another great interview that's coming up. So stay tuned for that one. Have a great night. We're out of here.
Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. All shows are recorded and available for download at plrdn.podbean.com. All rights are reserved and may not be replayed without written permission by IAPN Radio Management. Come join us at our new group, IAPN Radio on Facebook, where you can be kept up to date for future broadcasts. Pleasant journeys, everyone.